Updated May 18, 2018, 13 hours 40 minutes and 33 seconds. 8-hand Broadwood and Sons gem dropped at a Canberra tip shop on Monday was the first grand piano Charlie Bigg-Wither had ever seen. Its worth was anyone's guess, but when a successful German concert pianist contacted the Green Shed's co-owner expressing excitement to play it, he knew he had picked up something special. From human remains to grenade launchers, Mr. Bigg-Wither thought the Mitchell tip, which sells unwanted items for bargain prices, had seen it all. "We have always joked that all we need now is a grand piano and a penny farthing," he said. Thanks to the family that dropped off the Broadwood and Sons grand piano when its owner moved into a nursing home last week, he is now only waiting for the latter. What better way to celebrate that than to give it to a talented musician, judged by the Shed's faithful Facebook followers. Mr. Bigg-Wither has been gobsmacked by the interest in his "The Tip Has Got Talent" Facebook post, which he wrote on a whim on Wednesday afternoon. "Crazy idea, inspired by TV show. Fear of damage. His competition lets anyone visit the Shed, try their hand at playing the donated piano and add a recording of their performance to the Facebook post. Whichever video garners the most likes by 9 a.m. on Monday will be crowned the winner, with the result to be announced on the Facebook page." Mr. Bigg-Wither said he was inspired by a reality TV show and a fear the instrument would be damaged if it was left in the shed. "We put a $1,000 price tag on it for a couple of days. It's potentially worth a lot more than $1,000. Some people have said it's worth $10,000, but we generally sell things cheaply so they move and they don't hang around," he said. "But then we thought it was too nice to be sitting here. We didn't want it to get ruined, so we thought we'd have a crazy idea and give it a good home." Some people, including pianists and Beethoven specialists, took to Facebook to point out that Beethoven played a Broadwood, suggesting the piano was more than a century old. Mr. Bigg-Wither acknowledged the Shed was potentially missing out on a decent sale, but wanted to bring the community together, adding jokingly, "Sometimes we like to do dumb things." Initially he was going to ask people to share why they deserved the piano and choose the best story, but he recently took a liking to the reality singing show The Voice and decided to make it a contest. That decision impressed Facebook users. If the some 1,000 comment staff have spent hours sifting through is anything to go by. German pianist to travel from Sydney to play. Only a handful of those comments are competition entries, and Mr. Bigg-Wither has already hinted who is in the running for the prize. "So far the guy who played Blindfolded is my favorite," he said. "But as remarkable as that performance was, that man may soon have a run for his money." Mr. Bigg-Wither said he was shocked to be contacted by a pianist living in Sydney, who had just toured through Germany. He said he was going to come down to Canberra and play it on Sunday. He said, "I Facebook stalked him and he was in his three-piece tuxedo, in some massive big concert hall, at an enormous piano, playing in front of all these people, and he wants to come to our little tip shop and play our baby grand piano. I couldn't believe it." Mr. Bigg-Wither conceded he always wanted someone to donate a grand piano to the Shed because he had never even seen one, but also admitted that meant he had no idea how valuable this one really was. He was surprised to read comments suggesting it was a historically significant instrument dating to the 1880s or probably earlier, a Broadwood. "Whoever ends up owning that better look after it. Otherwise I'll steal it, with a very large forklift," one comment read. Another person wrote, "Beethoven played a Broadwood when he toured England. Also, the manufacture, sales and export information for every Broadwood ever made still exist in an archive in the north of England. The person who gets this piano will be able to trace its history. Whoever first owned the piano is unlikely to have expected that history would lead it to a humble Canberra tip, but whoever owns it next will surely be grateful it did." Topics: Community and society, charities, music, human interest, charities and community organizations, Canberra 2600, Act, Australia. First posted May 18, 2018, 13 hours 23 minutes and 43 seconds.